Hi guys, Kim here. So people make a big thing out of seeing four ones lined up, seeing some sort of sign 1111. Then just this morning I'm listening to this broadcast that was talking about 11, the number 11 and the number being special. And at that moment I glanced at the clock and it was 1111 and it made me laugh. As I was thinking that I could go on a trail to seek confirmation from external sources in relation to who else has had this experience and what effect it did have on them. I remember back in 2012 when I had my near-death experience, I spent days looking on the net doing searches to see if anyone else had had a similar experience to mine, and one which I could correlate to or relate to at some level. And the only similarities I could find at the time was people saying that they'd experienced falling down a hole, spiraling of light, and a tunnel at the end that was getting bigger. The thing is, I don't know why I wanted to find somebody that had had the same experience as me, as I knew what had happened. I guess I just wanted somebody else to confirm this for me, as it sort of makes you feel a little bit less crazy, a little bit less like you're losing your mind. Which brings me to the thing that I really wanted to talk about today, which is the concept of as if. So I have no doubt that we're living in some sort of simulation that progresses through stimulation. I think we can get onto a path by following a mindset of as if. So from my personal perspective, I can view myself as a radio station inside of a lighthouse, sending and receiving signals. The thing is, only people I can send signals out to are those that are in alignment with seeing the same bandwidth of light that I'm personally experiencing. And the same goes for me receiving energy signals too. I'm sure there are many out there that are beaming out light that I cannot yet perceive, as my receiver is not yet able to attune itself to that bandwidth. So for now, you and I, we're all in this together. The question remains how to make the best of the now that we're experiencing, which leads me back to the concept of as if. Like me behaving as if a certain thing has already come to pass and living my life as if thinking this is so. It's part of the pop-up world around us, the misty aspect between imagining something to be and it being so. So we ride the wave of what fascinates us to get there. Fascinate being the word that brings to mind because it's multifaceted or multi-faced. We need to approach the concept as if from multiple ways in order to incorporate that into our reality. This is part of us creating our own play, scripting our reality, and making sure we create what we want as part of our play, not what others are scripting for us. Let's not follow their script. Let's instead try to imagine that this is some sort of test that we might receive in school, where we write an essay on some imaginary scene, playing out the different roles in our head with different outcomes. Spell it out. Creation is what we are. It's just sometimes we get caught up so far in the mundane, the numbness of existence, that we forget we're meant to be focusing on what to create, or creation itself, not the want. Which leads me into mentioning that we're only a few days away from the 8/8 Lionsgate, which is a central point of focus in relation to setting our intention for the rest of the year. Whatever you do, be mindful of where your mind is during this coming week or so. Nigel was talking about how his grandfather used to sit in the chair on a Saturday night whilst watching TV, sucking seeds that he'd be intending to plant in his garden the next day. And this thing appeared in our Telegram group for discussion. Did you know, IG Connecting Consciousness, that plants have a super intelligence? If you put your saliva in the seed of an edible plant, then place it in the soil, that something miraculous happens. As the seed absorbs your saliva, it begins to read your DNA and structure its own genetic blueprint to be a superfood based upon any deficiencies or requirements that your DNA is signaling. This powerful ancient connection between humans and seeds is not acknowledged by mainstream academia due to the potential power it could have if applied in agriculture. I was thinking about the idea of peeing on a lemon tree, which is a thing after all. Then also somebody mentioned to me that when you empty your comb or your hairbrush after brushing your hair, that you shouldn't throw the old hair in the bin, that you should instead plant it in the soil with your plants. I don't know. Sometimes I think you can take all this stuff too far. Or maybe it is valid and that we should all be doing this in order to live a holistic life. I'm fully into the idea that if we want things to improve, then we are the ones that are going to make that happen through our own positive action and creation. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say today. But ta-ta for now.